I hope you had an amazing day, and if you traded today, were successful. As always, I'm going to be going over the S&P 500 E-mini futures for Friday, May 16th. I did a really good job making this brief yesterday. I'm going to do the same thing today. Before I get started, I just want to let you guys know I had a very busy day today. I was only able to trade the morning, and then I had to help my friend with a pretty big job that took up the rest of the day. So I was monitoring it, but I didn't take any more trades. But I'm going to walk through and tell you guys the one trade that I did take where I hit my daily goal. I took two trades. One trade I took that was break even, and then I think the best trade of the week happened today. So I'm gonna walk you guys through what I think is would have easily been the best trade of the day, and I could have made 50, even 100 points today if I was sitting down and focused during that happening. One more thing before I start, as always, all the credit to Al Brooks and his trading course. This is his method. This is his strategy. This is his price action. So I'm going to leave his course down below as always, and a huge shout out to my sensei, um, Troy H. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be trading. Um, he taught me all of this stuff, and as you guys know, this is price action. If you don't know about it, go watch it. Come back. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'm gonna try to make this quick, try to make this brief. It opened up today, kind of similar to yesterday, very, very choppy. Real quick before I keep on going, um, the red line of resistance and green line of support is the Globex high and the Globex low. Usually tries to test one of those most of the time, or both. So I just wanted to mark those out before the start of the day. And then, as always, the purple lines are yesterday's high and low. So yeah, it starts off pretty choppy. Kept on trying to touch the EMA, kept on rejecting the EMA and pushing back up. So I was just waiting to see once it was going to either get some follow throughs on the upside or maybe break through the EMA with a good follow through on the downside. And as you can see, through 12, finally, you get this strong bar that rejects the climb up, closes near its low with a micro gap, bar 12. So I was just paying attention to this, definitely with this little doji kind of bar above it. Um, so you get two bars, and then you get a third bar creating a micro channel with a massive micro gap as well. And this was a clear indicator for me because it closed below the EMA. So it closes below the EMA. It's only about 10 points, but that's enough to get a second leg. And I just was monitoring this very closely, and I actually waited and watched this bar a little bit. And it tried to push up back up to the EMA, but it kept on rejecting and pushing down and go back up and reject and push down. So eventually I kind of saw a good get in spot, which, as you can see from my entry, was right here at the end of this bar. I sold. Um, I sold, thought I would definitely get a push down, or I guess this was the second push down. This would be one pullback, big push down, but crossing the EMA could have restarted the leg count, so you could even have one tries to pull back, fails, two down, and I made a quick 10 points on this trade. So already within the first 35 minutes of when I am trading, because I don't trade the first 30 minutes, as you guys know, I made my daily goal. 16 and 17, very good reversal bar. And what stuck out to me with this was that 17 closed above the EMA. And I just already knew, as I said, this is the low of the Globex chart. And 15 didn't quite get there, but you can see it really tested it, and there's a strong market rejection. And just with, the flow of the market over this week or even last week, it's been very bullish. So I just thought that a lot of bulls may be looking at this deep push down. The bears succeeded, made their money, cashed out once we got kind of near this low, finally pushed through the EMA, and now bulls are looking at this as a great discount for a very bullish market this week. and just buy the crap out of it. So 16 gets a huge push up, and then the big factor for me that I thought, this is probably going to get a second leg, second push up, was that 17 closed above the EMA. 18, I had a really bad entry on this bar. I wish I would have been a little bit more patient because I may have stayed in on this trade if I entered the close of this bar instead of. But I saw the push up and I thought, okay, this might really start going quickly. So I got in and it kept on trying to push back to the EMA. It was being really, really doji, as you can see. 18, 19 tries to push up, pushes back down. 20 tries to push up and pushes back down. So as you can see on 20, I just got out break even. I was trying to be very risk adverse. I'd already made my points for the day. There is no need taking a risk that was unnecessary to try to scalp 5 points or something like that. And looking back, if I would have just been a little bit more patient and gotten in on the close of 18, I would have made my 5 points on 21, but I still would have had to sit through 19 and 20. And once you've seen both of those, 20 closes on the EMA and the downward projection, you really think, the market regime to open up the day was, this one push, big, big tear down, pushing the EMA. So you're thinking maybe 16 is just a deep pullback, and this is going to get a third leg down, try to actually test the low of the Globex. So I thought it was a little too risky, so I just got out. Clearly, if I would have stayed in, it would have worked out for me. I could have made 5 to 10 points, but not a big concern. After this, I didn't take any more trades. This is when I left to go help my friend, but I'm just going to talk through them with you guys. I thought there was a lot of ways you could scalp in through a lot of this stuff. You get one complicated pullback here, two, or you could say 1, 2, 3. That's what I would say, actually. I think that's a better interpretation. So 16, 17, 1, complex pullback, 2, pullback 3. And then it goes sideways again. Tries to touch the EMA. You can see touches, rejects, leaves a big micro gap. So I think this is a clear indicator that this has reset the leg count and it rejected the EMA again. It rejected the EMA and then went, 5 points up. I don't think it closed on 5 points, but it closed on 4.5 points with a big micro gap. I think this would be a safe buy here. I'm not sure if I would have risked that, but you could have bought the close of 31 and, you would have scalped up, been able to make 5 points, clearly on 34, 5 to 8 points. So you then get another 3 pushes up. You get 1, pullback 2, pullback 3. You could even say pullback 4, pullback 5. But there was nothing. I was monitoring it while I was working, and there was nothing like super clear. No really great indicators to jump in. I guess this is a 3 bar micro channel, but even getting in here or up here, there's not that much reward because it's just kind of choppy and sideways. And it's going upward and sideways, but it is super choppy just in, a trading range. So I still just think it's choppy. 46 gets a micro gap, but it's kind of exhausted. It's just pushing up, and you're just like, when is this gonna, kind of go a little bit more sideways? 48 through 52 resets the leg count again. And this was the trade I was talking about that I wish I would have been at my computer with. I would have definitely been able to make a lot of money through this trade, but it is what it is. I was just, I was able to watch it a little bit and think about when I would have entered, and I would have definitely been very successful. So I think this resets the leg count. 54 tries to touch the EMA, rejects it. 55 tries to touch the EMA, rejects it. 56 tries to push back to the EMA, rejection again. So clearly there's still a lot of upward momentum in the market. The bulls are winning. So it just looks like every single time it makes a push down to the EMA, the bulls are buying it up, looking at it as a discount. And then there's kind of a give up bar with the bears on 57, and it just rips up. 58, follow through. Not the best bar, pretty doji. You get some tick gaps in 59 and 60. And I think this is when you kind of get to the point where, you have 4 bars up in a good direction. You could just start buying every pullback. After you see these, it continues to pull back, go up, pull back, go up, pull back, go up, pull back, go up, pull back, go up. So why I think I would have been able to make a lot of money was I was watching this in real time, and I just would have been able to buy multiple contracts in every pullback. So you could have bought a contract on 61, it rips up, have a pretty wide stop loss, maybe 5 or maybe even 8 points, rips down on 62, buy somewhere when it's down here, it goes up again. Like how much higher is it going to go? Are these all implied pullbacks, or is it just going to keep on going? Right now, you're at one, two, three, four, five, 6 legs up micro channel, and I think this is just a fire sale. You can just buy every single pullback that's acceptable, and you'll still, even if there's a big reversal bar, you'll still make out with at least 10 to 20 points. So 64 rips down. You could buy that. You see the micro gap. You still see this still has a ton of momentum up. It's now 7 bars up, and it gets a micro gap. It's still more potential. You could buy the pullback of 64. You could even buy the pullback of 65. You could be in on anywhere from 4 to 8 contracts on this one push up. And yes, you could look at it as 54 and 55 was what leg one, 56 was a pullback, this was leg two. But such a significant leg probably needs another push up. So 66, using Fibonacci, you can see that 56 is kind of in that perfect 33, to 45% range of pullback. And even if you missed this whole entire tear up, that clearly is a huge momentum breaker and quite possibly needs another push up. You could have even bought the pullback of 66 and still scaled in and made at least 5 points, 8 points at its peak. So you get one pullback, huge two, pullback three. Wish I would have been able to get in on this trade because I could have tested, scaling in with a bunch of different contracts. Of course, with as big of a push this is up, everyone's going to be selling here at the top. It makes a new high of the day, so there's a lot of sell off, a lot of bears trying to get in here. Crosses the EMA. Some people would maybe want to sell once this crosses and closes below the EMA, but you just got to think about the market regime. What are the odds that this whole entire rip up for the day, you know, over 36 points, constantly going up with minor pullbacks is actually going to be able to, it's just trading against the regime if you were to sell, 74 or anything like that. And, it's the last 30 minutes of the day, so it's also choppy. Um, but yeah, that was my quick interpretation. Like I said, I only made these 2 trades, was up 10 points, had a good week. If you guys made it to the end of the video, thank you for watching so much. As always, leave any comments, questions, concerns in the comments section down below. And all the credit to Al Brooks. His trading course will be down below. And of course, huge shout out to Troy H. He's the man. And yeah, thank you guys for following along. I'll be back next week with another video. So thank you guys. Have a great weekend.